Hi everyone, my name is Izzy Lambert and I am an intern with We Planet Forward this semester. And today I'm going to be sharing a story that I wrote about a little girl and her passion for science and the environment and how she goes on a personal journey trying to find a way to use these passions in order to help her community. And this story is called Aspen's Big Idea: How She Helps Sammy the Salamander. And as we move through this story, there will be interactive questions that will allow you guys to pause the video and have a discussion and think about and discuss your own answers and how you can relate to Aspen and the different topics that are discussed. Hi everyone, my name is Aspen. Right now I am sitting on the bus on my way home. I can't wait to tell my parents about my day. I went to the Science Museum with my class today. It was my first time going. I learned so much about the environment, animals, and history. I jump off the school bus and run inside my house to tell my parents all about it. I tell them how much fun I had and that now I know what I want to do. I want to do something that will make the world a better place. So our first question is, what do you want to do to make the environment a better place? I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I never have really thought about this question before. Going to the Science Museum today really inspired me to think more about my impact on the world around me and how I can do something to give back. I am so interested that I sit at my desk to do some of my own research. I find more information about climate change, pollution, and endangered species. I read more and more and begin to feel nervous and worried. Why aren't more people talking about this? And why aren't more people doing something about this? I rack my brain. Is there anything I can do to help? Is it even possible for me to make a change? All of a sudden, I feel so small, like I will never have a solution big enough to solve this problem. So our next question is, have you ever heard about climate change, endangered species, or pollution before? Maybe you've heard about one of these topics or all of them, and maybe you heard about them in school or on the news or in a TV show or just talking about these topics with your parents. So there's a lot of different ways that you may have heard about this, and maybe you've heard about all these topics or just one or two of them. But my next part of this question is, how do these topics make you feel? I know I was so shocked reading about these topics. I learned facts such as how over half of the world's species face extinction, and some parts of the world have gotten extremely hot, and there's a greater risk of heat waves, and that there is at least 8 million tons of plastic that ends up in our oceans every year, which is the same as over 10,000 soccer fields. I don't know about you guys, but this makes me so scared. Learning about these things for the first time makes me feel worried, nervous, and helpless. I don't know how to tackle such big issues that affect the whole world. I am suddenly so tired from all the time I spent reading. I fall into my pillow and go straight to sleep. The next morning, I open my eyes to the sun shining through my windows. My parents tell me we're going hiking in the mountains. We walk through the trees and up rocks, and I think about how peaceful it is, being near the sun, water, and flowers. It's getting darker and we start to head back to the car. I walk around some rocks near a creek when I hear a little voice say, "Hi, hi." I look down confused. It sounds like it's coming from the ground, but how would the ground be speaking? I kneel down to inspect closer. Look, there's a little salamander. He is almost invisible with his mossy green and black pattern. Hi, I say out loud while I'm thinking, am I imagining this? Hi, my name is Sammy. I hope I didn't bother you, but I have been desperately looking for someone to help me. I live here in the mountains, and some people are planning on doing construction soon. We are going to lose so many trees and so much habitat that I and other animals use to live in. I know you might not be able to stop it, but please keep us in mind. Other animals just like me depend on trees as important habitat in order to survive. I am so surprised. I think to myself, is this salamander really talking to me? This problem sounds really urgent. I look at him and say, I am so sorry. I want to help. What can I do? Do you have any suggestions? He responds, help speak up for us. We need more people like you to be our voice. And before I have time to respond, he scrambles away, and I almost feel like it is a dream. Where'd he go? So our next question is, how would you feel after just having that conversation with Sammy? I know, I can't believe I just had that conversation with a salamander. It doesn't even feel real. While I'm really worried about Sammy, I also feel a little special that he chose me to ask for help with this problem. We're in the car heading home now, but I am filled with concern and I just can't stop thinking about Sammy. I know I can do something to help. I just need to think. I do my best thinking in my room. I get on my computer to do some research. Sammy mentioned trees, so I'll start researching those first. I learned how important trees really are. For example, I had no idea there are over 2,000 kinds of trees that we use for different types of medicine. So my next question is, do you have any ideas for how I could help Sammy? I am feeling so stressed about finding a good way to help Sammy. Since he depends on trees so much, I'm thinking about the different types of trees animals use, and the different ways I could plant them, or even different ways I could tell people about how important trees are. So I'm wondering what your guys' ideas are. But wait, I have the perfect idea. I need to do more research on where to get some supplies. I'm going to message my school friends and ask for help. After all this research, I'm super tired. I'm going to bed, but I am feeling so excited. The next day, I jump out of bed. I can't wait to get to school today. I need to get dressed and talk to my mom about making a couple of stops to get the supplies before we go to school. My mom said she'd come back and help me at the end of the day. We're on our way. At school, I update my friends. I realize that's also important that I talk to my teacher about my idea. She says it's a great idea and that I can leave class early to go set up. I can't wait for my mom to show up. It's 3 o'clock and it's time for me to slip out of class and meet my mom at the front of the school. I am so excited. My mom and I are setting up the table, banner, and all of our supplies. We're ready. The banner reads Tree Giveaway. I have all the tree seedlings lined up on the table that I picked up from the local Forest Service. Here they come. Kids are starting to filter out of the front door. My friends are here now helping me at the table. It's so much fun to do this together. Kids start coming up to the table interested, and I explain more about the different trees we have and tell them that they're free to take some and plant them at home in their yard. And they do. Now there is a line of kids wanting to learn more and have one of their own trees to take home and plant. I feel so relieved and so excited that other people are interested in the cause. So our next question is, would you want to take a tree home? Before I had come up with this idea, I had no idea where to get tree seedlings and no idea how to plant them on my own. But now that I've done more research, I think this would be really fun to do with friends or family and use it as an opportunity to tell them more about it. So, if you were to take a tree home, where do you think you would plant it? I'm thinking I might save some trees to take home with me and plant in my backyard because it's pretty empty right now and I want to fill it in with more plants. We gave out over 200 trees. With the trees, we also gave out papers on the importance of planting trees, how to take care of them, and how many animals depend on them as habitat. But, oh no, I still have a lot of trees and I don't think any more students are coming. What am I going to do with all these trees? As I start packing up, I look at this tree seedling I'm holding and think, wait, what about the field? I tell my mom to wait a minute while I run up to the principal who is standing by the front doors of the school. I explain to her what we did today and that we have some leftover trees and how they would be perfect in the empty field we have next to our school. She contemplates the idea for a couple of minutes and then smiles and says, "Sure, why not? It would look a lot better with some trees." I smile back and say, "Thank you." I run back to my mom and friends and explain what we can do with the rest of the trees. They agree to help and we start to fill in the empty field with all the leftover tree seedlings. I look up while I'm planting one of the last seedlings. I observe the field and all the seedlings sitting in the sun. I think about Sammy. He told me to be a voice for those that aren't heard and how these trees will provide homes for so many animals. I am proud of myself and my friends. I feel like we are able to do something simple but substantial. My heart feels full. I know that with more and more trees planted, we can make a true difference in the world. So my last question for you guys is, what do you think Sammy would say if he were here right now? I think Sammy would also feel really proud of us in this moment and all that me and my friends were able to accomplish. I think he would also feel really grateful that we took his message seriously and took it upon ourselves to make a real change inspired by what he said. I hope Sammy is really happy that we are able to find a way to help him and the other animals like him that depend on trees. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me on this adventure. I hope this inspires you to make a change in the world in your own way. I'll see you next time. The end.